Yo, 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 yo. Sorry about that, everybody. How you everybody doing? Welcome to the podcast. Hello, everybody. How you everybody doing? Welcome to the Podcases. You know what I'm saying? This is your guy, Sean. This is our very first show. Sorry about that for a little technical difficulties here, but here's the thing. We're live. This is our very first show, and we're going to have a lot of fun, you know? So this is my man, Sa. Sa and Fifth. We're here to do a little something to make everybody have a good time and just everybody welcome to the show.
Glad y'all decided to join us tonight. Excited to be here with my college roommate, real good friend of mine. Um, we decided to do this thing in about December. Um, just a place to give the average Joe, regular person, a voice. It's gonna be a lot of interaction. Have a lot of guests. A lot of time for you guys to give input to very interesting topics that we catch ourselves talking about a lot of times. Um, a lot of similarities, a lot of parallels in our lives. We'll talk about a little bit later. But for now, we're just glad you guys are here, ready to get cracking.
And here's the thing, man. Our show is just about a show. Just it's an entertainment show. So we want everybody to understand is when we come across, a lot of our stuff is just our opinion. It's factual opinions. So that means that I believe it. Sam believes it, and we just coming to have fun. We put out our show is just it's everybody's show, really. We just come here and we kind of moderate with everybody, but it's everybody's show. We're gonna have fun. We may say some things people don't like, probably me, but it is what it is. But we glad everybody tuned in to us. This is growing pains for us. It's something that we wanted to do for a long time. We finally got it rocking, and it's gonna be a good journey, man. So I hope everybody comes along, rides with us, and just have fun, man. The thing about when we started this whole deal and we started talking about it some time ago was it was like, what can we do, like just to have a conversation, have fun, and just be something different. People do sports, people do relationships, people do aliens or whatever. We don't do it all. It's just another pot for entertainment. And we want everybody to come in, have a good time, talk to us, and just be a part of what we're trying to do. Um, there's no right or wrong to what we're doing. It's just something that we felt that it was the time to do. I feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have some great people come on, conversate with us. You're gonna be surprised at some of the people that we got bringing on. It's everybody. There's no limit to who we got coming on. There's no limit to who we want to talk to, and that's for anybody out there. If you see something out there that you think that would be interesting, let's talk about it, man. And it's not always agreeing. It's always just time to have a grown folk conversation and just be good to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we're gonna do introduce a lot of music, entertainment, things like that. So we'll have a good time. Just a little bit of background about us. We're both alumni of Shaw University, class of 1999. It's actually where we're at. We've been friends since. Um,
It's like what about damn 30, about 25, right? Like about
yeah,
25 years. You know what I'm saying?
about 25 years. So
Yeah.
we've
The
been,
parallels are crazy, right?
yeah. We had children about the same time. Got married about the same time. We got divorced about the same time. Our mothers passed around the same time. So yeah, whole lot of even. And before all those parallels, we were both pledging fraternities at the same time. Different fraternities, but at the same
Damn
time.
right.
Uh, but
That,
at
that's
the
right.
time, we were roommates. So that was interesting as well. Um, and I'll be honest, man, this is one of the most interesting people that I've ever met. I know when I get the text to say, "Hey, see why you got a second?" I know it's gonna be a story, and he
Yo,
knows the same thing. So now we're gonna share some of these stories with you guys.
yeah. And as we come along and the show goes on and we feel good about what we got, the product that's coming along, we feel really dope about it. And the thing that makes us most excited is like, yo, we're two different people, but we move in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? He's a little more cut than I am, but nonetheless, we still rock. Like this is my brother, man, and it's I couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else. Um, but the cool thing about this is that when you tune in or when we see our posts on our social medias or whatever, make sure you go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. When you see our stuff, man, just interact with us and tell us what you want to talk about, and we'll bring you on and we can have a conversation. Just have fun. It's Sunday evenings. Let's have fun. And our audio will be available on Tuesday, Spotify, Stitcher, everywhere you should get podcasts. We're gonna be there. One day we're gonna be number one. Right now we're number one right now because everybody's listening. But this podcast is just basically about just entertainment, and for me, I felt like my whole deal is I get most of my entertainment from YouTube. Like I go to the far reaches of YouTube and just look at different things that I like to look at. You know what I'm saying? Everything from like space to I like watch interrogation videos. You know what I'm saying? Like people getting in trouble and they sit there and listen and don't call a lawyer. And I like that's type stuff I look at. So I wanted the show to kind of be a representation of what my interests are, which is everything. I like everything. So when you describe me, you don't describe me as just saying, hey, this dude like sports, whatever. I like, I have a wide range of interests. So I want to bring that to a platform that I think everybody will enjoy. And you're going to learn something from me, I hope. I definitely going to learn something from you and the people that come on. So it's all about exchanging information, having a good time. And it's no one right way to do something. It's all good. And we just felt that it was time and we wanted to start the show off with just talking about what we do, how we came together, how we rocking with it forever, and what our plans are for the show. And with this being our first show, and the plans are we ready to take it everywhere. We're gonna be everywhere by the fall. I guarantee you that. And we appreciate everybody's support for that. So, but we want everybody to know that you can always follow us anywhere that you can get any kind of like podcasts, whatever. We're everywhere. So on Monday and Tuesday, we post clips and parts of our show on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your social media. We here to rock and we're ready to have a good time. So you can always interact with us. You can come through the chat. Just do whatever. Just be a part of the show and tell us what you like, what you don't like, and it's all good. You know.
And one thing he forgot to mention, I forgot this when we were roommates. That was, like you said, 24, 25 years ago. This dude don't sleep. Um, Man, we talked about this one day in December. I think I ain't worked so hard since.
Damn
Every
right, man.
day is logos, t-shirt, everything you see coming through social media is him, and it's happening between the hours of midnight and 7.
Damn right, man.
So I asked him, I said, "Bro, when do you sleep? If my phone goes off at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, that's him."
That's the thing about it. My clock always runs. I don't know why. I consider myself a creator of dope shit, right? I don't know if we can curse here. I don't know HR here, but anyway, I consider myself a creator of dope shit. And I like to, I like sometimes when everybody's asleep or whatever, that's just my time to kind of like chill and think about things, whatever. And when we started thinking about this whole deal, I was like, yo, this is something that we can put together and ferment and make something real good. So so my juices started flowing, and when I concentrate on something, I put my all into it. So I put my all into this, and I think at the end of the day, when you see the end result of it, where we come from, our short term, mid term, and long term goals, it's going to be something that everybody can be proud of, especially people that support us and rock with us. And it's something that no matter what comes out of it, we have a good time doing it, and I think you guys have a good time listening to us. Whether you listen or watch, just be a part of what we try to do. Um, the website's up. We got dope merch. Um, there's no limit to what we're gonna talk about. I guarantee you that. And right now, It's just something that I want people to think that these guys don't talk about sports and shit. Yeah, we'll bring them off the studio if she talked to us. It's just about just bringing things on that they think people want to talk about and have a good time. Um, One of the things we were talking about was that when we did this, we didn't want to be typecast and that people didn't feel like they can reach out to us and do things. So one of the most important things that we're going to do is we don't see a lot of people doing this. We're going to incorporate a lot of HBCU sports news or whatever into what we do. So as the show go on, we're going to start doing bringing people on from HBCUs, highlight this sports, highlight their lifestyle of what's going on because it's our culture,
Yeah.
and no one does that. So we feel like this is our platform, and we need to support that. So as time goes on, you'll start seeing more as we highlight who got the best damn homecomings and the bands and sports and what have you. And and one of the things that we is near and dear to us is just like the mothers, like single mothers and all that, and women. So we want to highlight women in business, So if you got something out there that you're proud of and you think that people should know, yo, contact us. You got our information on the website right there. Contact us and just say, hey, listen, I got something I think people want to talk about, or just think people should know. Whether you sell cookies or you sell whatever, just holler at us and just talk to us. If you got that music, you think is dope.
No,
If you think that music is dope, you bring it to us, and I give my damn opinion on that. I guarantee you that, man, because but we want everybody to just be a part of what we're doing, and
yeah.
that's just throwing paint on the wall what our show's about. But we feel good about it, and we think it's dope, and we know you gonna think it's dope too. That's what's up.
And the thing about it is, like I said before, we both graduates from Shaw, and Shaw was like the underdog school, and that's what we want to highlight: underdogs. We want to talk to people who are doing big things and not every day showing that they're doing big things, but they're working beneath the scenes and doing things like that. Um, those are the people that we really want to highlight. That's the music that we want to highlight. Um, we want to show you don't have to really be flashy. That was, when coming up with this, that was some of our thought process. There's every week, look, there's a celebrity or two who's coming out with a podcast. Well, a lot of times the average Joe, we can't talk to the celebrity about the podcast. And quite frankly, we face different obstacles than they do. So we wanted to be able to talk to people about stuff that regular Americans, Black Americans, Black male Americans are going through, are talking about, and actually give you a platform to talk to us, to get your message out there, and not just to type a message that's going to go unheard or send an email that's going to go unheard. Um, this is like we used to have a friend in college that we used to call FUBU because he wore FUBU before we even knew about it. But this is like a for us, by us podcast. And when I say for us, by us, I mean for the regular people, for people who have something to say, who want to be heard, who may not get that opportunity. You're going to have your opportunity with the podcasts.
Yo, I want to give a shout out to the folks that are like chiming in on the chat. That's real dope. I salute to all three of y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's dope, I really appreciate that. Rob, my boy Dwayne, you know what I'm saying? That's my homeboy from way back in the day. Um, you know what I'm saying? So, we want to make sure that everyone's just enjoying what we're trying to do. So, one of the things that when we started this whole deal was we were trying to figure out who we wanted to bring on and just kind of like introduce this whole deal to everybody. Who do we thought? Who do we think that would just kind of encapsulate what we're doing? Like be not saying an underdog, but just somebody who busts their ass and just work hard and just persevere and whatever. And we racked our brain about that. We was trying to go like whether we go high or whatever, but we felt that we want to get somebody with some substance, somebody who we admire. Um, we just wanted somebody that just felt that they were a part of what we're trying to do. So I just wanted to just put that out there to everybody. What I'm saying, it's like, hey, listen, we got something, and we got somebody who we're super proud of, and someone whose career has expanded, you know, 2 decades and a half. And not only her career, but just the things that she's accomplished, but what she has done in spite of her personal obstacles or whatever. And I think her story is something that will motivate everybody from no matter what your struggle is or what you're doing. I think she would be somebody that you definitely want to listen to, hear, and just be like, hey, listen, anything's possible. So, um, so we thought about it, we racked our brain or whatever, and we went to the humble and say, listen, um, we reached out to somebody, and we talked to Miss Kesha Monk, and we were like, hey, listen, we admire your story. And I think, I know she done told the world the story, but we just wanted her to come and share that with us because of who she is, and what she's been through and what she's accomplished. And I'm humbled by that. I'm inspired by that. So I thought that just having a conversation with us about what she's done, where she's been, and where she's going, it will resonate with everybody. So without further ado, I want to bring somebody on that we thoroughly admire. We thoroughly is
Mutually.
inspired
Mutually.
by. What I'm saying, inspired by her. Um, I can't say enough about it. Because as we go through this conversation, you're going to hear things about her that will inspire everybody. And just be like, how dope she is and what she's accomplished and things like that. So, without further ado, I want to introduce everybody to the fascinating, super talented, uh, our friend, Miss Kesha Monk.
Yo! Congratulations, y'all!
Hey, thanks, Keisha. You know what I'm saying? And before we even get started, I just want to say something, man. When we started this whole deal, we were thinking about this, and we reached out to you guys, man. And I think that it wasn't no delay when you saw Yasi. You and your husband said yes. And that was big for us, and that humbled us. We had nothing. You seen nothing, and you rock with us. So that's less, what type of person you are, and I think everybody out there knows what type of person you are.
Well, I first of all, I am completely honored to be like your first guest. Like, I'm kind of nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I do, but it's just I'm honored. I'm appreciative, and thank you for allowing giving me the space and a platform to tell my story again. I think at the end of this, people are gonna be tired of me, but I have to continue. I have to continue to tell my story in hopes of just trying to inspire people. So I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna let y'all answer the questions, and if I talk too much, it's okay.
Nah,
It's like this.
Yeah.
Now,
Keisha,
Keisha, before you came on, I
I
talked to Sean
and
and I told him,
I
I
said,
said,
say
say
somebody
somebody
you
you know
know
you've heard, but you probably have not seen.
and
And
I
I
told
told
him
him
to
to
say
say
that,
that,
and
and
he
he
didn't
didn't
say
say
it.
it.
So
So
I
I
want
want
to
to
put
put
that
that
in
in
there.
there.
Somebody
Somebody
that I
that I
know,
know
15
15
to
to
25
25
to
to
35,
35
to
to
maybe
maybe
100
100
million
million Americans
have
have
heard,
heard,
but
but
maybe
maybe
they
they
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
you.
you.
We
It's
want
a
to show you
possibility.
because
It's
we
a
love you.
possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Um, I I'm an onion with many layers. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll be interesting. And again, my hope is that my story will encourage, and inspire, and enlighten somebody to keep going, no matter what. You know.
Well, like before we get into, I was inspired just by your journey. I kind of heard, just kind of see, watch stuff on Facebook, and I follow you, and I just, like I said, I was inspired by that. Just for not from whatever struggle, whatever, just just what happens on the other side of every time you post what you're going through. Just the other side of it is important to me, and that tells a lot about like a person's character. Nothing defeats them or even whatever they're going through. It's the other side of it tells you a lot about it. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So
Amen. Yeah.
that was important to me, and I sincerely respect you on just so many levels. But that's one of the things I ultimately respect you on. That's super dope, and I'm humbled by
Well, I
that.
truly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so
Definitely.
much.
Yeah, that's what's up. And I was telling him like, that where she's at right now is just like so dope. She's working right now. You can tell.
I'm always working, even when I'm not physically behind the microphone. Me and my husband are serial entrepreneurs, and my brain works like this kind of all the time. I don't know if it's necessarily healthy, but I don't necessarily know at this point how to shut my brain off. So
Okay.
yes, I'm always in that mode again. And I guess in a few minutes I'll tell you a little bit on why I think my brain works that way.
Cool.
It's an interesting story.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. We're gonna hit on that. You know. So we kind of did like a little jump around of who you are and how you got to where just highlights or whatever. But let's kind of start from the beginning. Let's take it all the way back if we can, as much as we can, and kind of like just talk about um, where you're from and just kind of what trying to matriculated you to adolescence and high school and things like that. It's going to be a little brief of who you are, kind of where you're from.
Okay. Well, I am a native New Yorker. I am from Queens, New York. Um, a few minutes from the Belmont racetrack is where I grew up. And my mother and father were both musically inclined. They both were singers. My mother was a backup singer for a woman named Inez Andrews, a very prominent woman in the gospel industry. And my dad, too. My dad had his own group, and the name of it was the Swan Silvertones. And they were both internationally known and used to travel all over the world. And so when I came along, I guess the touring stopped, but the music is in my veins. Pretty much from birth, they just encouraged me to learn how to play instruments. And so I started out playing the piano. My great uncle, he is the Thelonious Monk, the jazz pianist.
Word.
And so,
Wow. Yeah, I
I
think I
yeah,
didn't
knew.
know that.
so at a very, very early age, I
Wow.
was pretty much inspired to learn how to play piano. So at the age of 3, that's where my whole musical journey started. And by the time I got to high school, I learned how to master 6 instruments, and so
Dang.
including bassoon,
Okay. Okay.
which you
But-
don't really see a lot of black girls playing. A lot of people don't even know what the bassoon is.
I know.
Google it. You'd be very surprised that this little black girl knows how to
I gotta
play
Google that
bassoon.
real quick. I'm sorry. I gotta Google that, man. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. So, being that I was like this music maniac pretty much when I became of high school age, my mother encouraged me to audition for the High School of Music and Art, which is the infamous Fame School. Again, y'all are a little younger than me, so I don't know if
Oh,
y'all
so
know about
that was a real
Fame.
that was a real deal. That was
Yeah,
real.
yeah, for sure. And
That's-
so
hmm.
I auditioned on piano, and they have a lot of people who play the piano who audition to get into school. So once you get in, they teach you how to play another instrument, and I chose bassoon. So that's how my whole bassoon journey started. But nevertheless, when I got out of high school, I thought that I would become a music teacher because it's what I loved. It's what motivated me. Um, and so uh, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I was really, really talented, still am
Oh,
extremely
girl.
talented,
Let
but
me tell
I
you.
think, as I reflect, I still felt that I would do better um, in an environment that that didn't have a lot of musicians in it. I don't know. I tend to do better in crowds where I can stand out. So I didn't want to go to a conservatory. I didn't want to go to Juilliard. I went to Shaw. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to
Hey,
be around
salute.
Black people.
Salute to Shaw, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
right.
all day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me do this while I'm at it.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, yo, hey,
Okay, Alpha Row, we got it.
all day.
HR on Sundays, Ryan. So we all good.
All
Usually
day.
every Sunday, you know.
And so, you know, I wanted to go to an HBCU. Howard didn't accept me, and Shaw did. My grades weren't all that great. You know why? Because I always spent all of my time playing piano, and but when it came to going to English class and music class and social studies, I ain't like that. I just wanted to always be creative and whatever. So I went to Shaw and decided to major in music there. And funny enough, Mr. Brown, shout out to Mr. Brown, the director of bands for 30 something years, who just retired a couple of years ago. I told him I played bassoon, and he was absolutely amazed. Again, a lot of Black people don't play bassoon.
Hey,
So
that's what's up. That was soon.
yeah. And so he actually went and found a bassoon somewhere, and I played bassoon in concert band, and in the jazz band I played piano. At that time there was no gospel choir. I was up in the student union one day playing the piano, and people migrated, and I decided that I wanted to start a gospel choir, and it was crazy. But long story short, I don't know, I got bored. I decided that, and I think it was the choir maybe. I decided that maybe I wasn't a teacher. A performer, yes. A teacher, no. And so I wandered up to the radio station one day, and I became fascinated. Like I literally thought, wow, people actually get paid to talk and play music. I was like, yo, that's me right there. And so that's really where it all started. I don't want to ramble. I want you guys to, keep me here. But really, that was the start. That was the start. And Chris, let me mention this, that I think at an early age, I also discovered the power of voice. I used to get in trouble a lot because I used to run my mama's phone bill up by calling the 900 numbers, the party lines. Again, I don't know how old you guys are, but where I'm from, they used to
Hey,
have
Kesha,
these.
I'm 38 forever.
Oh, okay.
I don't age. I stop there.
Okay. So, yeah, there were these party lines that you could call. They cost like $1 a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And when you dial the phone number, you just were on the phone with other people. And I used to do these really crazy, embarrassing, like dumb things. Like I used to take like greeting cards and read them to the people on the phone, like "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you." Like they were like, "Oh, you got a nice voice," and so I didn't always think, I want to use my, like as a kid, I never did. I also have been finding pictures of me walking around the house with like tape recorders and stuff like that. I've always had a fascination with the voice, but it wasn't until my junior year at Shaw, I said, you know what? I think I want to do radio because I like to talk and I like music. And that's where it got started for me.
So, okay, I guess we've held some of these people in suspense. Can you tell them who you are, entertainment wise?
I don't know what you mean by that, sir.
Yes, you do.
What do you mean? Who I am in the
Tell them how you got started, where you got started, and like Sean said, I follow you on social media. I see some of the people that not only do you know, you are friends with. And just a side note, me and Kesha met on a different, I guess, wave because of our love for our alma mater, Shaw University. And she is one of the most humble people that I think I have met. But when you look at her bio and what she's done, she really doesn't have to be. One thing she doesn't know that I never told her is I was starstruck from the first time that I met you. She don't do that. You know when you first get to Shaw, and I got there in the fall of 1995. Kesha Monk was the name that you heard. Kesha Monk, she's a DJ in New York. Was it Hot 97?
Kiss FM and WBLS.
Okay, in New York, right?
In New York City.
Is that the number one market in the country?
Yeah. So I'll tell you how I got there. I'll
tell us how you got there.
And I'm gonna keep it real. So I'm at Shaw, and I am volunteering on the radio station there. Unfortunately, I don't remember them having a class where you could actually get credit to be on the radio, but I loved gospel music. And so there was this little store down on New Bern Avenue in Raleigh called Gospel King, and I used to spend my own money to get like the latest CDs and stuff because their library really wasn't all that. And so I used to buy music and play it on the radio station. I think I volunteered like 5 days a week for like 2 hours every single day. I probably was skipping class to do it too, to be honest with you, because I'm crazy like that. And so Dr. Emeka, who was the department head, y'all can laugh too if it's all right. The department head saw me having lunch with my roommate, who at the time, his name was Jay Bell, and he worked for a gospel record label. And so when Dr. Emeka saw me at the Golden Corral, he assumed that maybe I was having lunch with him to try to do him favors, I guess, to play his artist on the radio. He fired me, y'all. How the hell do you get fired from a volunteer position? I don't know. But I got fired. Let the record show. This is what people probably do not know. I got fired from the very first radio station that I ever worked at, WSHA. Wow. Shout out to Shaw. But, I was really hurt. Because again, I'm extremely passionate about everything that I do. For Christ's sake, I'm taking my own money as a broke college student, buying CDs to play on the air, right? And so when I got fired, it broke me. It broke me bad. But someone said to me, and I don't remember what it was, like, why are you upset? Like, you have this talent. Just go get a job somewhere and literally get paid for it. So I went to St. Aug. They had a little AM radio station, WAUG AM 750. And I did my thing over there for a little while. But get this. And it's really important because as your listeners and your viewers listen to my story, and they absorb what you just said a few minutes ago with regards to me being this star or celebrity and my relationships, all of this did not come without heartache and adversity. I have been fighting literally since day one, starting with getting fired at Shaw. Now, when I went over to St. Augustine's College, I was getting paid like $5 an hour, doing my thing. You know what I mean? And I got pregnant. So I'm a single mama, and I'm playing gospel music, and then they fired me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be out here representing the Lord and you out here having babies. So that broke me. And so again, talking to my friends, I had a really, really good circle of friends. They said, yo, you tripping. When somebody doesn't know how to take advantage or exploit your talent, just go somewhere else. And so I said, really not believing it, but I said, you know what, let me try to get on to the commercial radio station here in Raleigh. And so that started. I actually went up to the radio station and introduced myself and noticed that the program director, his office was messy. So I volunteered to clean his office. I said, I just wanted to get in the building. And
Wow.
so I let them know. I said, I'll come and I'll straighten up your paperwork. If you need any help with data entry or anything, I'm your woman. He let me in. And that's really how it started. So from there, I was the first woman to do the Quiet Storm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hmm.
I worked at K97.5. I worked at Foxy 107.104. I worked at The Light. I worked at a rock station in Raleigh, WZZU. And then from there, being a single mom, it wasn't enough, you know. And so I said, I'm going to try to get me a job making more money. And so I went to Pittsburgh. And then I went to New York. And after that, I went to LA and Chicago. And like I've been all over the country, literally getting paid to do what I love, which is to listen to music and to connect with people.
Wow. So humility is a big part of the story, right? Big part of the story.
It is. I think the secret to my sauce, basically, is to, even though many people have viewed radio personalities as celebrities, my secret was to be on the same level as my listeners. I'll give you an
Right.
example. When I worked in LA with Steve Harvey, my show, I did middays in Los Angeles, and my show, before Steve was syndicated, he worked at a hip hop station in Los
Mm-hmm.
Angeles, and my show came on after his every morning. And so Steve was always the type, and I don't think he did it on purpose, but he was like filthy rich. And so when he got on the radio station and talked about his life experiences, he would always talk about his gardener and his accountant and his wardrobe people and his security team. And when I got on the radio station, and this is in LA, in a city where, it's celebrity is in the air. Everybody is a star. I went out there like, my baby daddy ain't paying my child support. Like I was an open book. You know what I'm saying? When I was sad, I didn't hesitate to say
Oh
that
my
on the
God.
air. When 9/11 happened, they, made everybody go home. I mean, it was a security issue. I said, no, I want to be on the air. I stayed on the air for like 18 hours by myself, because I know the importance in connecting with people. So humility, I don't really necessarily know if you want to call it what? Your mic is low. My mic is low. My husband is telling me that my mic is low. This is a live show, man. I don't know what to do.
Hey,
You
Kesha,
hear this?
and trust and believe, we plan on getting to Eugene. But
Hey, tell bro, I say what's up.
I
I'm
will.
tired of saying this, but I'm gonna say it again. And I can say just a phrase to you, and you'll know what it means. 118 East South Street.
All day.
We are, or at least we think we are, a different breed. Just what was that experience like, and how were you able to stay as humble as you were? Because, like you said, you were able to go on there and talk about your experiences. But you're in LA. You started over at St. Aug, Oakwood Avenue, and then you went to K97.5, and now you're in LA with the likes of Steve Harvey. I mean, how were you able just to say, you know what, and even to now, you responded back to us. You didn't have to.
Hey, I can believe that.
Yes,
So
I
how are
did.
you able to do that?
I mean, you can't get blessed if you're off the radar. Like unfortunately, and I will say that I have had a lot of encounters with with celebrities, and not all of them have been 100% positive. I just treat people how I want to be treated.
Right.
You
We
understand?
appreciate that. We
I
really
mean,
do.
beside the fact that you guys are family, the bottom line is you are on the road to something huge. Why wouldn't I want to reach out and to connect with you and to be available to to your audience? I know how it was having a radio show, and in fact I still deal with it. Let's not get it twisted here, where people just aren't accessible. I just try to be accessible to people, and I find a blessing in that. You treat people how you want to be treated, period.
Good lesson. Very good lesson.
That's what's up.
And it's one that we both believe in. Definitely.
That's what's up.
Absolutely. And I apologize.
You
I
know,
want to ask my husband, is my
one of the things I
microphone
wanted to
sound a little bit better?
just ask you. You've done so much. One of my things I wanted to really ask you, we kind of touched on this when we kind of talked before, was just your support system. You made a transition, from radio to doing voiceovers, right? And one of the things you kind of talked about was what kind of led up to that. Can you kind of talk to us and just kind of share this experience of what your life was like when you felt you had to make that transition?
Yo, you see this smile on my
system
face? Look
when you
at
decided to say, "Hey, listen, I have to make a change as a result or whatever." But you actually just became, you just use your talent. You're more talented, so you just kind of evolved.
Yes. Can you hear me better? Can you hear me at all?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. 2 2 2 1 2 1 2. Sure that you guys can hear me, because my manager is in there tripping, saying that you still can't hear me. Do me a favor, and this is very, very untraditional. Please ask your audience to comment to make sure that they can hear me. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2 2.
You guys in the chat, hear Kesha pretty well?
Say it again.
I asked if they can hear you in the chat. I think they can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they can hear you.
All right. So it's an incredible story. So I want to encourage both you. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Adrian. Thanks, Sasha. So this is a crazy story, I'm telling you. In 2011-ish, I was actually working at Shaw University because, like Chris said a minute ago, I'm very, very passionate about my alma mater, and I felt that that my talent, that they could utilize my talent. And so my husband and I had a marketing company at the time, and we was in New York. We decided to relocate to Raleigh and to help out. And it was extremely stressful. It was crazy. And so I started experiencing these really bad pains, right? I thought it was the job that was giving me these horrible stomach aches. I couldn't sleep. It was so bad. And I laugh about it because it is kind of funny. And so I went through that for a while. I went to the doctor, and they were saying, "Ain't nothing wrong with you. Just increase your fiber. You're good." And so I went through that for like 6 months. And long story longer, they diagnosed me with colon cancer. It was straight stage 3 at that point. I had this huge tumor sitting at the base of my colon. And so that put me out on my back. No more radio. I just had to concentrate on living because it was bad. Not only did I, deal with the cancer, and I did chemo, and I was extremely sick during that entire time. I had horrible, horrible effects with chemotherapy. I lost my sense of my taste. My teeth was falling out. My hair fell out. I literally was so sick, I could barely walk. Like I was literally using a walker. So I'm at the crib, and I'm on the computer, and I learn about this contest. It was a contest to win $100,000 contract for voiceover, right? And so let the record show, I was a radio personality. Doing voiceover is completely different, contrary to popular belief. Voiceover is voice acting. It's just not reading a script. It's being able to literally bring words to life on a piece of paper. So I entered the contest. I don't know, and I kept, advancing to the next round, next round, next round. They had the final shindig in Virginia. They flew me out there. They had a limo pick me up. I'm literally, I literally have a walker. My body is riddled with cancer, right?
Wow.
Dude, they give me this envelope, which is a script to read in front of like a panel of people. Why did the script have to do with cancer?
Oh.
It was ill. So I'm reading the script, it was something like, you know, hi, I'm Sarah, and I you know, I'm I'm sorry, I'm a breast cancer survivor, and you need to get your care at Duke Cancer Center because they're caring, they're compassionate, like it's crazy. And so I'm reading it, and I'm crying, and I'm literally sobbing, actually. Um, and everybody else starts crying, and it's really emotional. And I'm like, yo, I rock that. You know what I'm saying? Because this script is my reality. I didn't even win the contest, y'all, but they ended up giving me a contract anyway.
Oh,
That was the
wow.
official, yeah, that was crazy. And so that was the official start of my voiceover career. And at the time, I didn't even have a microphone. I didn't have a microphone. I had nowhere to record. But I ran out. I went out and got like a laptop I did the research myself with regards to
Mm-hmm.
how to achieve the best sound. And my
Mm-hmm.
very first booking was I played the role of Gloria in Madagascar for DreamWorks for a bunch of amusement parks nationwide. You know how sometimes you
Wow.
go to the amusement park and before you go on a ride, they'll have like a pre-show or whatever? Yeah. And I
Right.
did
Right.
that right in my closet. Right in
Wow.
my closet. Yeah. That was the start.
So,
Wow,
wow,
that's
that's amazing,
amazing.
Keisha.
It's crazy. It's almost like, I don't know. I just felt like I was destined. What are the odds that this script that would introduce me to the world of voiceover would have anything to do with cancer while I was going through cancer?
Going while you back.
Well,
Well,
and
and
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
get
get
to
to
that,
that.
but
But
before
before
we
we
go
go
there,
there, I want to ask you one question because
I'm
I'm
an
an
80s
80s
baby.
baby.
Sean
Sean
might
might
be a
be a
70s
70s
baby.
baby.
Huh?
I'm not sure.
And we the last real ones, man. We didn't ride
But
bicycles with helmets
but
on.
can you tell
Tell
these
these
people
people
how
how
you
you
ended
ended
up
up
being
being
the
the
voice
voice
of
of
the
the
Soul
Soul
Train
Train
Music
Music
Awards?
Awards?
Because
Because
I
I
know
know
in
in
my
my
mama's
mama's
house
house
and
and
my
my
grandmama's
grandmama's
house
house
on
on
Saturday
Saturday
morning,
morning,
Don
Don
Cornelius
Cornelius
was
was
on
on
there
there
screaming.
screaming.
And
And
that's
that's
a
a big
big part
part
of
of
our
our
culture.
culture.
That
And
So
right
right
now
now
we
we
kind
kind
of
of
losing,
losing,
but
but
you know, they're still holding on with the awards. But Keisha, for you guys who don't know, has been the voice of the Soul Train Music Awards. Can you tell them how you got to that?
Okay, so in voiceover, you have several different genres of voiceover. Of course, you have the regular old schmegular radio and television commercial. But you also have corporate narration, you also have medical narration, you have um, animation. There's all different types. And so that genre of voiceover is
that's what's
called
up.
live announcing, right? And
Right.
my mentor, her name is Randy Thomas.
Okay.
She actually is the voice of the Grammys, the Emmys, that she like does Super Bowl
Wow.
pre-shows. Like she's big up there on the totem pole. And I was just talking to her one day and she was like, Keisha, you can do this live announce stuff. Again, don't assume that just because you're a voiceover artist that you can do all these different genres. Yeah, I can do the heck out of a radio commercial, but I've never done live announce. She was like, you can do it. And all you want to do is you want to watch an award show that you aspire to be on. Wait for the credits, see who's producing the show, and ask them for a job. Now, at the time, to be honest with you, a lot, 9 times out of 10, in order to get these big commercial jobs or these high profile voiceover jobs, you need an agent. You just can't walk in the door and say, "Hey, yo," you know what I'm saying? I want to. You need a rep to walk you in. But and I told her that, like, how do I do that without an agent? She was like, just do it. You have the talent, just do it. And so, growing up with Soul Train and being a fan of the award shows for years and years, I wanted to be the voice of Soul Train. And so that's what I did. I found
Wow.
out who the producers were, and I looked them up on LinkedIn. I introduced myself. I sent them an email, and they ignored me year after year after year after year. But I don't take no for an answer. Chris, you know me.
Oh
I
yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying? I just don't. And so, tactfully,
Lost you down.
just continue to ask them. I
Lost you.
want to do this. I want to be the voiceover for the Soul Train Awards, and eventually they just let me in the door. And that's how it started. How did I get the job? I literally asked for it. That's how I got it. I asked for it.
Wow.
And this 2021 will be my 5th year doing it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I know we're
I
gonna
love
stop.
that cup.
We're gonna stop at 8, but we may run a little over. There are 2 more things I definitely want to touch on. One, I know that you're really adamant about your battle with cancer. I really want to talk about that, and then I think if I didn't mention this, I may get a text. So I want to touch on Eugene as well, because I can tell you,
Salute to the
you know,
brothers.
we've talked about you and Eugene before, and it's one of the strongest bonds I think I have ever seen. And so I really wanted to touch on that. Even if he wanted to peek his head in, he could.
Hey,
But those 2 more things I wanted to touch on in either order that you would like.
before you answer that, I gotta say something. Really
Let me tell you how I met this dude. I'm a Delta. He's a Q.
Uh-oh.
And so, yeah, we shared, and I can't remember when they took the plots away at Shaw, but
2014.
Okay, 2014. So you remember
Yeah.
Q's and the Deltas shared a plot. So we were in school at the same time, and I used to see him all the time. But truth be told, I couldn't stand him because he just looked mean. You know what I'm saying? And then we were from 2 different worlds. Like, I was the choir girl. I'm in the gospel and I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't perfect, but I was out here, directing the choir. And he, truth be told, was just like this thug. Like, I don't even remember hearing his voice. He used to just be on campus like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, So I always thought he was mean, and it's funny. After a while, after we started dating, I used to ask him about that. Like, why do you have like such this hard exterior? Like, yo, what you want me to do, son? Like, walk around campus smiling and shit. Like, that's how he is. He's just like really, really weird. And so it was after graduation. He called. I was in Pittsburgh doing radio at the time, and he knew somebody who had written a book about brandy, and he wanted to see if he could get them an interview on my show. We started talking. We started dating. Long story short, he started sweating me, and I was like, damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we dated, and he has just been the biggest cheerleader that I've just... a lot of my success has to do with having a solid cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? He is an incredible cheerleader for me. So we've been married going on 18 years. And he just never left my side. He never left my side. He could tell he can tell you the ins and outs of any kind of drug, cancer, so forth and so on. I mean, because he cancer for drugs. Yeah, cancer drugs. He was right there with me, fighting for me, advocating for me, not taking.
Wow.
He also doesn't take no for an answer, which is
He does
extremely
not.
never, never. You know what I mean? And he's just a wonderful, wonderful person just to have in my life. When we got married, really quick story here. Um, if you Googled African American bride, you didn't see anything. This is 2003. I could not find any ideas on how to do my wedding. So we created a community called Chocolate Brides, and
Mhm.
it ended up being literally thousands and thousands of brides from all over the world, Black brides, sharing ideas about their weddings and just being a support system to each other. And we ended up being like on BET News, and we in the Black Enterprise magazine, and like we ended up publishing a magazine, and we're just, he's crazy like me, and that's why we get along so well. We're just
Yeah.
always full of ideas.
I can tell you from personal experience, Eugene does not take no for an answer.
I
Never.
don't know.
Never.
The first time I met him, I walked into the meeting saying, "There's no way in hell I would do what he's asking me to do." Well, we were at Panera Bread on Capitol Boulevard. When I walked out, I said, "Not only will I do it, but I'm gonna start for free
Oh my God. Yes, sir.
because he doesn't take no for an answer." I'm glad he didn't bring you with him.
Oh yeah, you would have been. It would have been ugly if I was in the building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're visionaries.
Yeah.
When you have a vision about something, or when you're passionate about something, no, the word no just does not exist. And I would hope that your audience would take that. If they take one thing away from our conversation tonight, it is my prayer that um, that they would never, when you believe in something or somebody, you
Mhm.
just cannot take no for an answer. You just never can give up. Giving up is not an option.
And not only that, you guys are great people. Um, it's a number. When I
Yeah.
see Eugene come through or Kesha, I'm gonna pick up the call, or I'm gonna call you right back. And you know that's true.
What? Since when? Because I can
Huh?
remember a couple of times that you used to
That's
send us the voice. No, I'm just joking.
that's not true.
You was probably in
So
court or something. You know.
so can you tell us a little bit, or a lot, or as much as you want, about your battle with cancer?
Absolutely. Um, whew, sorry. Uh,
It's okay.
it's and I want to talk about this. Um, it's triggering. Because even though, thank God, I am cancer free, I suffer with PTSD. I'm always thinking about it. So if I
I
get a new
bet.
bump, if I get, and that's because, and it may not even be my fault, because when I was initially diagnosed, doctor said it was nothing. And what's crazy about that is cancer is strong in my family. My mother had cancer several times, my sister had it, my grandmother had it. And so to go to a doctor's office and to say, "Oh, well, you black, you're young, it's just not likely that you have cancer. Just eat more spinach or drink some Metamucil, you'll be okay."
Mhm.
And to be sent home in pain over and over and over again for 6 consistent months, it messed me up.
Right.
And so I was diagnosed. I did 6 months of chemo. Cancer came right back. And even though they dismissed me on that first incident, I was feeling on my neck in all places, right? By my vocal cords. I was feeling in my neck one day, and I felt, it felt kind of swollen. Again, doctor saying, "Oh, well, sometimes when you're sick, your lymph nodes swell, you good." And I'm like, "No, you're going to do a CT scan, and we're going to do a biopsy, and we're going to find out what's going on." Turns out the cancer came right back. So that was battle number 2. And then I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, where I had to have a partial thyroidectomy. And again, they had to cut right in here. It's weird. I have an incredible story. Here it is. I use my voice for a living, have done so for a long, long time. I'm finding this newfound success in voiceover, and now they have to do surgery in my neck area. And so I dealt with that for a while, and then I was diagnosed with Lynch syndrome, which is basically the cancer gene. For the rest of my life, I'll be on medical surveillance. Every few months, I have to do scans. And, I try to stay strong, but I'm not going to sit here and lie in front and say that everything is easy. Um, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, but I just feel like God would not put me through all of this for absolutely no reason. I believe that my passion is voiceover, but my purpose is to continue to tell this story and to let people know that they can do it. If cancer, if I did all of this through cancer, there is nothing that you can't do. There's nothing you cannot do.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
That's it.
Wow. Well, man, we're right at 8. And if I can ask you just one more question. And I know the entertainment business is totally different today with all the social media and you got Instagram and YouTube, and you can get your own stuff out. But for somebody who's wanting to get into some of the industries that you're in or been in, whether it be DJ or voiceovers or whatever, what would you recommend? Because boots to the ground still beats anything else you can do. So, what would you recommend to somebody who wants to do or wants to get into one of those industries?
First of all, you need to have a thorough understanding of what you're getting into. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I I just didn't wake up one morning and say, you know what, I want to be in New York. I want to be in, like, I literally studied the market and the trends. And I used to listen to the radio. So, well, I grew up at on WBLS and Kiss FM, so I kind of knew what their flavor was.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to really understand what you're getting into. I wanted to be in New York because it is the number one market in the country, meaning the most people and the most radio stations. So even though money wasn't a major motivator, I'm like, I could probably make a lot of money. And Fat Man Scoop, I met him one day, and he told me, he was like, "Yo, I make about $100,000 working
there you
for
go.
two. This is back in really.
Don't mind me, y'all. Don't mind me. I'm just scenery. I'm just scenery.
Come on, put your face in there, Eugene.
I can't even see y'all. I'm just scenery. I'm just in the background. I'm just scenery.
Hey, Kesha, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yes, you can.
Now, in spring of 1997, when my roommate was online for Omega, or whatever that thing they were doing, I don't know what they do. He used to tell me, I said, man, y'all good. He used to say, oh, Pooh got us, we straight. I said, one day I said, man, who the hell is Pooh? He said, no, they live over he real cool. I said, all right. So that was the first time I had heard of Eugene. I mean, you would have thought Eugene was, who got us? Who was that? We good.
I wasn't even in school at the time.
Bro.
Ain't that something?
So,
Hey, Eugene, you know how you Omegas do. Y'all ain't never in school.
I had actually graduated, Christopher.
I'm sorry.
hey, that's that hater.
I had
Haters.
graduated. Thank you very much.
You stupid.
What camera are you looking at? This camera? This camera? What's up?
Come on, son. We're live. Don't do this.
Okay.
Anyway. So where was I at? I don't even remember. Before I was rudely interrupted.
I'm just scenery. I'm just here.
Bottom line, I went through all of that cancer. I mean, and the thing is, I had tons of complications with it. And so I had to have a hysterectomy. I did a lot of bleeding. I started taking blood thinners. I had to, just all kinds of issues, residual effects of, you know, even today, I suffer from something that's called chemo brain. It's been a really long time since I've had, treatment, but I
Right.
have a lot of brain fog and my vision, and then I developed high blood pressure and diabetes and just just everything. But I'm gonna write a book, y'all. Chris, Sean, I'm gonna write a book, and the title came to me, and it's called "My Gift Won't Let Me Rest." In
Mm.
other words, I have this gift. I have the power of the voice to connect with people, to help people, to inspire people, and so I can't rest. I don't care if it is cancer that put me on my
Wow.
back for a little while. Like I can't lay down. I have to do. I have to fulfill my purpose. I have to fulfill my purpose, and so I'm not giving up for nobody. Even when they told me that we don't have any positions for you here, Kesha, at Kiss FM. Well, you will one day. And
Mm.
that has been my mentality. Every single job that I have had in radio, I was able to get by simply not giving up and simply not taking no for an answer. And thank you, Adrian, for liking the title of my book. And this dude here, the biggest cheerleader ever. He also was a huge reason why I was able to get that job in New York. Even though I heard on the street, girl, no, girl, you gotta wait in line. You gotta wait your turn. You gotta wait until you get 5 years of experience before you go up there. He was like, no, just
Hey, don't take no.
Hey,
Don't take no.
you guys are a couple goals, and Keisha, you are a walking inspiration, and I'm glad to know you.
love you too.
Salute.
Love you too. All day.
So we're
Sean,
not going to take up any more of your time tonight. We really appreciate you.
I love that car.
Appreciate you. He loves that
no
cup,
problem. Thank you so much
and
for.
just thank you,
That's right.
thank you. We
No
owe you the
problem.
world.
Listen. I wish you guys all the success in the world. You guys are gonna go really, really far. And when y'all ready to talk about power couples, you gotta have us back on because
Wait,
I'm
wait, wait,
talking.
wait.
I'm talking global domination, dude. Global domination.
Hey,
For
we can
real.
go ahead and schedule it. We ain't got number time on our hands.
Oh, dang, I ain't mean no time soon, but
When y'all
Hey,
make me
let's do
talk
it.
about the man behind the scenes, then y'all just let me know, and I'm there. Don't worry about it.
Hey,
She
Eugene,
can
we
thank me later.
appreciate you.
She could thank me later, but I'll be here. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much.
y'all have a good night.
As my roommate says, salute.
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 All right, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back next Sunday evening at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then we'll be up on YouTube later on this evening. We'll be on Spotify, what, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So we appreciate you. Thanks for all the love, all the support. We just hope to grow, get better. Like I said, a few growing pains, we're going to iron it all out. But we appreciate all your support. Thank you.